Hello, Dr. Bridget here with another prescription for success. The next few I'm going to be talking a little bit about managing your emotional state and how to do that. Managing your emotional state means that you can live your life comfortably, that you can feel that motivation, that joy, that happiness. And you can get rid of all the negatives that, may be dragging you down and making you feel rubbish. And it also means that you can transmit that emotional state to others, which is really helpful when it's positive. So, what is your emotional state? Well, it's created by your reality, by your unconscious mind, and it comes via filtering with your experiences, your emotions, your values, your beliefs, decisions you've made, the language that you use, and something called meta programs. And that creates your reality, and that's the picture that you have in your head. So we've all got different realities, and that creates your emotional state. The other thing that creates your emotional state is your physiology. So that's your how you are, whether you're sitting like this or whether you're doing your power pose or whatever it is, creates an emotional state. And also the feedback from your behaviour and your results also feeds back into that emotional state. So it's almost like a loop. So if we want to change our physiology, quite often we can just look up. And I don't know if you know, but if you look up, you can't feel negative emotions. The other thing that you can do is to go into peripheral vision. So if you look at something that's sort of up there, which is in the sky for me, and concentrate on that, but then let your vision just go out so that you can see, wherever you're looking, you can actually see your hands, then that stops the negative internal chatter. And the other thing that you can do is to actually step out of your reality. So I'm going to do a little blog on this next week about dissociating from your reality. So you sort of do a fly on the wall thing, and that just changes your emotional state. So anything that dissociates you changes your emotional state. Or we can just change those filters, so the experiences and the memories, anything negative that you've got hooked onto those, your beliefs if they're limiting, your values if they're not helpful, and the language that you use, all of that will change your reality. So either changing your reality by changing the filters or changing your physiology, which changes your reality. So so if you find yourself having persistent negative states, and I think in this time of COVID it's quite a challenge for a lot of people, and if you find you're having emotional states and you can't get out of them, then give me a shout, because I can give you some really cool techniques to actually get rid of that emotional state altogether. So using something called timeline therapy. So if you did that, then you could have that amazing emotional state and transmit it to other people, which will get you the behaviour and the results that you want, no matter what's going on around you, that total resilience. So it's really worth doing. Give me a shout if you need help, and I'll see you next week. Bye.